Go real quick to try to get this in before the break. Anonymous in Fairfax, Virginia, listening online. You are on with Trent Horn. What's your question, Anonymous?
Hey, so I just recently watched like a video on Vice News that was talking about exorcisms, and they showed this one atheist activist named like Michael Shermer who was trying to debunk exorcisms, and one of his premises was that, you know, religion and faith and all that, it's nothing more than just confirmation bias. And I kind of hear this a lot too, that, you know, oh, faith is nothing more than just confirmation bias. People with their beliefs, they'll go wherever their beliefs, you know, kind of ad hoc. But how do you respond to stuff like that, Trent?
What I would say is that confirmation bias is not an objection to Catholicism or even to religion in general. Confirmation bias is a psychological defect that all people suffer from, including atheists. It's just a part of human condition as fallen creatures, as fallible creatures. What confirmation bias is, it is a tendency among human beings to only notice evidence that supports a belief they already hold, and then to ignore or suppress evidence that contradicts that belief. And everyone does this, including atheists. And I would say even Shermer himself would do this, that if he were talking about exorcisms, that he and others may bring up, yeah, there are cases where you might say someone who seems possessed may have a mental illness and it's indistinguishable. But then people don't bring up the other cases where the person who's possessed speaks a language they never knew before or has superhuman strength. That part gets kind of pushed to the side. That would be an example of confirmation bias. I don't know if Shermer does that, but I could imagine there are atheists who do. So I would say to repeat that, we have a little bit of time. I can go into this before we have to go to a break. That confirmation bias, it is a psychological defect, an error in thinking everybody suffers from. So everyone has to watch out for it. So there are atheists, and I've seen this in literature where atheists will attack, weak arguments against the Catholic faith, but then they don't deal with other stronger issues or things that may contradict a belief that they hold. So everyone does this. We have to be watchful for it, but it's not an objection against the faith. It's just something everyone has to watch out for. And Catholics believe in faith-seeking understanding, and everyone's biased, but we can work hard to look at evidence objectively, and I would say the evidence objectively supports the truth of the Catholic faith.